In addition to the bottom process layer of your foundation, you'll need to build a foundation of skills that will help you make things look real. There are three key parts to this foundation. In this lecture, we are going to look at the first of these three parts, drawing. You can only paint as well as you can draw. And painting loose is not the same as painting sloppily. In fact, the looser you want to paint, the better you need to learn how to draw. You need to be able to put a beautiful brush stroke down accurately and then leave it there without overworking it. Many people think they can't draw, but it's not true. It's a simple matter of learning the right techniques. I have read a lot of drawing books and have taken many drawing classes over the years. There were some extremely useful techniques I never knew about until years after I'd started painting. Techniques that I wish I had known when I had first started painting. The problem is that experienced artists do a lot of things in their heads when they draw, and since you can't see them doing these things, you may never learn how to draw just by watching. Here are just two of the key techniques that I learned. The first technique is angular transfer. You use the angular transfer technique to make sure lines in your drawing are at the correct angle. When you want to copy the angle of a line, or the angle between 2 points, all you have to do is to hold a straight edge in front of you and line it up with the line whose angle you are trying to measure. In this case, the top of the wall. Then, keeping your arm rigid, move the straight edge to your drawing, keeping it at the same angle. Then you can check the angle on your drawing with the angle on your subject and change your drawing if the angles don't match. Here is the second drawing technique, called triangulation. Triangulation is a technique you should use all the time if you want to learn how to draw accurately. The basic idea is that you look for 3 points on the objects you see in front of you and draw the triangle formed by them. To do this, look at the relationship of each of these 3 points to each other. What is the relative length of the 3 sides of the triangle? What are the angles of the 3 sides of the triangle? You will need to use the angular transfer technique you have already learned to make sure the angles of the sides of the triangle are accurate. Practice this until you can copy any triangle fairly accurately. With practice, you'll get quite good. What is amazing is that this single skill is all you need to learn to draw anything you want. Let's see why. Once you figure out the correct position for these 3 points, you use 2 of them to find a 4th point, using just the same technique. Then you find a 5th, a 6th point, and so on, always working from a known point that you started with. The more triangles you can find and check, the more accurate your drawing will be. Continue to look for and draw triangles until you have created a drawing of something as complex as a hand, which is the most difficult subject for any artist to draw. Now watch the technique in practice. We're going to draw triangles, starting from the largest ones that we can find, and keep on finding more and more triangles, which help us locate all the key points in this drawing. Once we've done the larger shapes, we'll start working on smaller shapes, each time just looking for triangles. Sometimes we'll make some adjustments, and finally we end up with a finished drawing. So as you can see, the most complex things to draw are really not that difficult at all when you use this simple technique. Okay, so now you have started along your path of learning how to draw, one of the 3 key foundation skills you need to make your paintings look real. There are quite a few more skills to learn in this building block, so take your time here and practice often. The next building block of realism is just as important as drawing for making things look real, and we'll talk about that building block in the next lecture, lecture number 4.